It's our last one for crookedy, 2022, Stampin' Wednesday. We are going to hang out here for just a minute. When you jump on, make sure you say hello. Let me know that you are playing along with us tonight. We are going to create some, well, I'm going to call them thank you cards, but they really could be any type of card that you needed. I know that coming up for me, I'm going to need thank you cards to start my new year. So, Merry almost Christmas, everybody. It is, how many days till Christmas? 4 days till Christmas, but I'm all wrapped. Packages are under the tree. I'm going to do a little baking in the next day or so, and we are ready to go. Hey, Becky Fortunato, thanks for being here with me. Say hello, ladies. Let me know that you're here and that you're doing cards with us tonight. I have a couple cards started. Hi, Vicky. How are you? Happy Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah. I don't know if I've missed any, but if I want to make sure that I say, well wishes to everybody that has things going on here in the next couple of days, weeks, whatever it happens to be. I'm just discreetly trying to slide us back a little bit so that you're looking at the table and not at my lap. How are we doing? Are we getting there? Trying to straighten this out? No. So, all right, I think we're better now. We still have a terrible glow tonight for my ring light. Can you see the shadow? I'll do it down here. The shadow from my ring light, I don't know. But let's go. Let's make some cards. I want to show you Happy Christmas, Bethy. Thanks for being here. This first card I want to show you, I have started it and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you the finished product first, and then I'll show you what I've started for. Oh, Amazon, I don't want to talk to you right now. Go away. Go away, Amazon. Thank you. So I didn't put a sentiment on here, but I absolutely plan on putting a thank you on here, whether it's on the front or on the inside of my card. But I wanted to get this started. So this I did with blending brushes, and I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. So I'm going to get all my bits out here. I keep them in my clear envelope, my bits from when I put a kit together. Keep it all in my clear envelope, so I have all my bits here. We're going to have another, this is a piece of glimmer paper, shimmer paper that has been colored the same way I colored here. We have our card base, which is 11 by 4 1/4, and I thought I had a holy moly, holy mother of Moses. Sorry about that, ladies. Couldn't reach my boner here. Card base. We have some Melon Mambo. We have a piece of basic white, so we're creating some layers here. And I just created this shimmery rainbow-like image on here. I'm going to show you how we did that by repeating it on the inside of the card. And the reason I did it earlier is that even though it's done, I want to stamp in black over this, and it's a little damp, so it takes a few minutes to dry. So let me just show you how we did it. Right here on the inside of our card base, and I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap paper to slide underneath it so that I can keep everything out of the way. I used on this card Butterfly Brilliance, of course, is the stamps that I used on this, and the Brilliant Wings dies is what I used to cut out my piece of shimmery white paper that I colored on, doing my little rainbow effect. So I'm going to slide all this right out of the way. we're going to get in there in a minute, and I used Poppy Parade, Melon Mambo, and Daffodil Delight. And I saw this adorable card created in different colors by another demonstrator, and Patty Bennett, and she used completely different products. Same idea, same Stampin' Up! Products, but different colors, different stamp set. So I'm going to start with my Poppy Parade and my red blending brush. And I'm just going to give it a little swirly on my stamp here to load my brush up with some ink. I'm going to start off the side of my card and just gently brush the color, the Poppy Parade ink, right onto my card, just like this. And if you want more, you want it to be a little stronger, just keep loading ink on till you have the effect that you want. So that's what I'm doing here. I really want it to be quite vibrant. That's our Poppy Parade. Oh, Merry Christmas. I like that voice. Next, we're going to use some Melon Mambo, because I'm just trying to graduate from the reds through the pinks to the yellows. And I'm just, you know, those brilliant, we had a beautiful, beautiful sunset in Norwich Walk today because we had sun and that brilliant colors that happened just for a couple of minutes on this shortest day of the year. So see how it's blending together, and then I'm just moving it forward. Get some Melon Mambo. I'm trying to set things out of the way so I don't get ink all over myself. And of course, I'm going to go back and do this to my envelope later. Again, did the same thing, put the Daffodil Delight, dragging it and blending it, that's why it's a blending brush, right into our Melon Mambo, and just pulling it, making our card softer and brighter. That's what we did before. So of course, I'm going to set this out of the way, wipe my brush off a little so I don't get it all over myself, and let's go. Easy peasy technique, huh? Still have a beautiful color on here, still can write all over it to put my greeting or my sentiment on there. Let's come back here to our piece for the front of our card. Now you can tell, my first one I did very soft. This one I added a little more color because I wanted it to be a little more vibrant. We are going to absolutely use some of those beautiful butterflies, and I'm going to do a variety of them. So we're going to ink them up with Memento black ink. It's my preferred black ink color that we have. And I'm just going to pop on some butterflies, random butterflies, and I am going to stamp random butterflies on this card. So you're going to see me pull one. Let's get another one on here. I just love the way that they look. And I thought this just makes a peaceful, simple butterfly. Let's put one here. We'll grab a different one. Now this stamp set did come as one whole stamp. It was a large stamp. I chose to cut mine into pieces so I could do individual butterflies. That was my choice. You don't have to do that, but it certainly gives you a selection of options to create beautiful, beautiful. Let's put one down here. And I think I can squeeze one right in there. right like that. Some beautiful butterflies. Now, then you could put your thank you on here. I'm not going to put a thank you on here again tonight with purpose. I'm not going to, well, maybe I will. I don't know. I'm going to grab a dimensional, and I'm going to use the mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put one right in the center here, kind of lining it up on the body. Here, bring my piece of melon mambo in here so we can see. There we go. And I'm going to take another dimensional, a little bitty one, and cut it in half. I have 1/2 on my snips and 1/2, well, now I have 2 halves on my fingers. But I just want to try, we're going to pop one on there and maybe one right in here. There we go. Let's layer our pieces together. Do we have any seal? We do. I just had to reach for it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is such a fun card to make. I love the colors, don't you? It's not Christmassy. And I know, I did not do Christmas on purpose. We're gonna layer these together. How many of you, I have to know, how many of you put layers on your cards? Do you like layers on your cards? I do. So tell me how many of you put layers on, and how many layers do you put? Because you can put 1, you can put 3, and then I'm going to tell you a little tip that I learned this week that you probably all knew about, but I didn't. I'm trying to get the paper off of here, and it doesn't want to come. Come on. There we go. And we're going to put our little butterfly. And then I think we're going to take, oh, where are you? I want our go-to greetings. And I want to say, I'm going to just do a little tiny thank you. A little tiny one. We got a little tiny one on here. Right here. Just a thank you. We're making a thank you card. So let's grab a block. And we have, I know I have scraps of white paper everywhere. Look, I got one right here. And let's do, what color do you think we should do that thank you in? How do you feel? Let's do it in black. I feel like we're going to do it in black, in Memento Black. Oh, you love layers? Oh, you layer inside and out, Beth. That's, oh, wow. So I'm going to stamp thank you on here. Perfect. Look at that. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer so that I can tell you or show you the little tip that I learned this week, only if I can figure out what I did with my paper trimmer. It was hiding. Whew. So did you know that if your envelope with your card in it fits in this piece right here where you cut, if your envelope with the card in it fits in here, it usually does not need any additional postage. I didn't know that till this week. Like, I think I learned that, yesterday. So how many years old were you when you learned that? Because I think I learned it yesterday. And I just have this little scrap and I'm just trimming it down. This is not scientific. I just want a little thank you. So we're gonna take that off. I think I'm gonna trim the other way just with my snips because I feel like I didn't get it stamped straight on there. So we're just gonna trim it with our snips. Here we go. Nobody will know. If you don't tell on me, nobody will know. We're just going to trim. Thank you. And we're going to just kind of trim at a little angle here. Just like that. And I think we'll trim the other direction. Just like that. See what I'm trying to do? I'm just trying to make it small, but we know that it's a thank you note for our card. And give it a little adhesive. Maybe if I can get it on my trying to get it off of my fingers. And there is our first one tonight. Our first thank you card for the evening. How simple is that? You can see all of our gorgeous colors. Yeah, wasn't that good to know? I thought that was so cool to learn that. So now you know. I'm going to be measuring all of my cards now. Nothing worse than sending a card to somebody and you find out they have to add postage. Now before we're finished with this card, we're going to add some of these little gold swirls. Because that's just how we roll. We need to shine it up a little. So let's put one there and one there and one more. Where are we going to go? Let's go. Let's go there. So we have our vibrant one. We have our softer one. What do you think? Thank you. Thank you for saying it's beautiful. That's our first card tonight. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Not Christmas colors, but a gorgeous thank you card. I mean, I can think of 5 people that would love to have that card. So somebody's getting that thank you card from me. All right, let's clean up our mess a little here. One of my goals for next year, well, I have 2 for our lives for next year. The first one is to show my face more in videos. That's really hard for me. The second one is to have my things a little more organized. So our second card, it's not going to say thank you on it, but it could say thank you. And we're going to use, I can't quite finish with the Joyful Flurry stamp set. I just love it. So we're going to be using this tonight, and we're going to grab a couple of things out of here, like this sweet snowflake. We're going to be using that. We're going to be using this. Oh, not thank you. We're going to be using the Let It Snow, which is right here. Gonna grab a block for it. Hang tight, hang tight. Do not leave. We are right here live. Let it snow. Okay, so that's what we're starting with tonight. We're going to use some pieces that are retiring, that I LOVE. Again with the basic white 11 by 4 1/4. Of course, we're gonna score it at 5 1/2, and if it isn't scored, you can just use your bone folder and make a nice sharp crease on your cardstock. We have one of these beautiful iridescent snowflakes, some Starry Sky paper. We're going to use some Starry Sky ink, this gorgeous vellum paper that is retiring. I think it's out of stock, so if you need some of that, you can just reach out to me and I'll tell you. A piece of the In Color glimmer paper is what we're going to use. And I have a piece of just a little strip, 1/2 inch by 4 inches strip of basic white that we're going to stamp Let It Snow on. We're just going to ink it up. It is really juicy, so hopefully we don't get a halo on here. and we're just going to say let it snow. I set my stamp right down, pick it straight up, voila. That is our let it snow. Super de duper. We're going to use, while I have my juicy ink out, we're going to use it again. We're going to stamp some snowflakes on the inside of our card. Because we're going to put snowflakes on the out, so let's just stamp a couple of snowflakes right on the inside. I love this. First of all, I love this stamp. I'm crazy for it. And we're just going to stamp right down one side. And heck, while we're here, let's put a couple on the envelope. How cool is that going to be? Look, our envelope is done. No naked envelopes for us today. We're going to set that right aside, set this right aside. Let's bring in that vellum paper that we're going to put right on top. I didn't even show you the cards I made. Vellum paper. That's what we need next. I did 2 of them. I did this one that says let it snow, and I stamped right up the side. Isn't that beautiful? And on the inside you could put thank you. And on this one, same premise for the outside, and then I just put some opposite snowflakes in here. So let's work on this. Now, remember, behind your vellum, if we put adhesive where my vellum isn't, it's going to show. So we're going to take a little bit of liquid adhesive, and we're going to dot it on behind where the snowflakes are, and then nobody's going to see it. So we're just giving it some little tiny dots. We don't need a lot, and I'm going to try not to glue my fingers together. We're just going to put some on here. And I'm holding it on my Starry Sky paper so I can actually see where my bits are. Here we go. A little more, maybe a little in the middle here. So I just have little dots on there. Let's flip it over here and let's post it. We're going to show our Starry Sky side to side, but we're going to fill it in top to bottom, just like that. And look, it's adhered, but you can't see our adhesive. So we're going to do the same thing with our piece of the polka dotty snowdrops. That's what I'm calling them. I choose to think of them as snowdrops. And I'm just putting some right behind the little drops. Make sense to you to do that? The other thing, if you know you're going to cover your vellum with cardstock or a design or a sentiment, you could put your adhesive right behind where you're going to cover up. And we've done that a lot too. But this time, you're going to see a lot of it. So there we go. Gave it some dots. Again, we're going to flip it over, trying not to put my fingers in it. And we're going to cover right down to the end, but I forgot that I needed to trim this. Let's see if we got it correct. Nope, we need a little bit more. So we're going to add a little more adhesive right over here because I cut off where we had our little glue dots. Not real glue dots, but our glue dots we made. There we go. And by using the liquid adhesive, we can also slide this around just a skosh if we need to. Just a skosh. We want to come all the way down. Now, it's okay that it lays over because guess what? Guess what we're going to do? We're going to put our paper right over the top of it. we're going to need our paper trimmer because we're going to make this be 3 3/4 inches like our vellum is. So we're just going to come in here, we're going to trim it down, and we're going to do the same thing with our Starry Sky. Just trimming it. Trim it down so it comes over just a little. We don't need it to come over a lot. Just like that. We use our paper trimmer for so much, don't we, ladies? I love my paper trimmer. I'm gonna grab some pieces off here. Our Starry Sky shimmer paper is gonna get a little boost. Let's use our adhesive and lay our, at the end of the rainbow. We're going to grab the Seal Plus because it's close and we don't have to stop to reload. And we're going to lay our Let It Snow right on here. I just want it to hang over just a little skosh, just like that. We want to say Let It Snow. And we're going to lay this on top of our card base. How are we doing on time? Oh, okay. We have to pick up the pace a little. Guess I gotta quit blabbing so much. Lay it on here. You know, I get to talking to you and then I forget what I'm doing. Oh, thank you for saying you love the colors, Vicki. It's so simple but yet I think so vibrant. And so now we've used vellum that's retiring. We're gonna use a snowflake that's going to retire. So I do have some of these. What else? I think that's it for this card. But I'm putting a glue dot right in a dimensional right in the middle of our snowflake. Doesn't that just say it? I love this card. I think it's so elegant. And look how fast it was. We need a little glue dot. We're going to pop it right in the middle of our snowflake. And I don't really think we need anything else on this besides our bow. We're going to put our little Starry Sky bow on here and give it a little trim up because we don't need it to hang over that far. And there we go. Starry Sky. What? Starry Sky. And certainly you can let it snow, and on the inside you can write your thank you note. Perfect. Card number 2. Done and in the books. This one truly is a thank you card. Let me get it out here so you can see it. Again, using up some things that are retiring in just a couple of days before the new mini catalog comes out. Have you seen yours yet? Have you gotten one yet? This time we have a gray granite card base. We have a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. This is our card base, our cardstock. We have a piece of basic white that has been trimmed, and I used the gingham embossing folder on it because I love the gingham with this beautiful gingham paper that's about to retire. Oh, I can't believe it's going to retire. The Country Wreath bundle. I love it. Okay, there's one. Let's lay this right on the top. I'm going to go a little fast with this one because I have one more card I really, really, really want to show you tonight. Let's get this laid on here. We have our piece of basic white that's going to go on the inside of our card. We're going to snail it up. Let's pop it in here. Just like this. I have a piece of the shimmery white paper that is going to retire very soon, along with a piece of another piece of the DSP. Again, using the gray granite, we're going to lay it right on the shimmery white. This is 3 by 3. This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, making those perfect squares. We have a piece of the same paper that we're going to lay on our card. I was looking for my snail. It was hiding underneath another strip of DSP that we need. Let's put this on. I'm going to make it go this way. You sticking with me here, ladies? You picking up what I'm putting down? Oh, you love this thank you card, Jenny. Thank you. So we made this card in Card Party the other night. And the ladies, I actually had done this around the edge with Versamark. And they said, well, let's use the shimmer paper instead. So because they are such smart crafters, we changed it. I got out the paper and I said, why not? It's retiring. Let's get to using it. So I'm showing you tonight. This one I did with the vellum and embossing powder, or not vellum, embossing powder and Versamark. This one is done with the shimmery white paper, so you'll get to see them next to each other. The next thing we have another snowflake. Let's put that on. Put that on. And then we have a little bit of stamping to do. And we'll put our piece of designer series paper on the inside of our card. There we go. We have a scrap of basic white. We have some blushing bride. We have a thank you. Let's ink up our thank you. Perfect. Whoops. Didn't mean to grab the paper and drag it out of the way as I was setting other things down. Let's grab our thank you and stamp it a little bit to the left, I think. To the left. Let's give it a little second for the ink to transfer. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that was terrible. Let's try that again. Good thing we have magic paper here, huh? Much better. Now let's flag our end, which is what I wanted to do the first time. We're going to flag it. Oh, I did kind of a deep flag this time, but that's okay. So we cut in the middle, and then we're cutting up to our center mark to make our deep flag. And let's just add this right over the center of our thank you. That is truly right over the center of our snowflake. That's truly a thank you card. And of course we get this one last piece of DSP, because when I was cutting, you know, I can't get rid of the scraps, so we're going to decorate the inside too. Let's make it pretty, just like that. And there, my friends, is card number 3. So you can see the difference between the shimmery white designer paper and the Versamark and the embossing powder. Just shimmered it up, made it pretty. Oh, thank you for the hearts, girls. Okay, that's card number 3. We got one more to show you, and I have done, again, some of the cutting. I wanted to use Vintage Christmas, and we can make this into a thank you card. Doesn't have to be Christmas, but I wanted to use this one tonight. So we got some bits here. Let me show you the card we have. What do you think? We've got some bits in here. I had to do some die cutting. We do have a little bit more to do, but I'm going to talk you through the whole process while we were doing it. Did a little Stitched with Whimsy on here. Put some bottles on the inside of our card. I just love it. And certainly you could pop a thank you on here. You could write thank you on the inside. These are just pretty colors. It doesn't have to be Christmas. You could certainly use it for Christmas, but it could be any color. So where's our bits? Our bits and bits and bits. Bring them in here. We have a scrap that we're going to use. I did a lot of 11 by 4 1/4 cards this week for a card party. I was feeling it. So we got basic white. We've got a piece of cherry cobbler because we use cherry cobbler, evening evergreen, and soft succulent ink. I use my Stitched with Whimsy on my piece of basic white, just to give it a little interest, a little design. Just, you know me, I like to have those little things that are going to make you look at it and go, oh wow. Let's put these pieces together. And then we'll do some more work. We're going to, only because I want to not have them in the way while we've got all these little bits on here. This card doesn't have to take us very long at all. Well, can you see that I feel like I got a little edge right here? So I'm looking for my, I don't see it. I'm just going to use my fingernail just to scrape those edges off. It was feeling a little rough to me. And I'm going to lay this flat onto my card base because we're going to put some layers on the pieces themselves. This vintage bottles, vintage Christmas stamp works with the punch, wherever my punch may be. If you were my punch, you would be behind me for the vintage bottles. So I thought we should do a bottle, and I want to do it in the soft succulent. I'm going to grab my stamp. I get stamps everywhere around here. So much for being organized tonight. And I just want to ink it up. And then we're going to stamp it on this piece of paper. Just like that. And I kind of like the look of the bottle. I just love that vintage bottle look. Got a punch. We're gonna pop our little bottle in here sideways. Another tip for you, if you didn't know this, you don't have to push a punch all the way down until you get it exactly where you want it to be, but it will hold it in place. Give it a punch. There's your bottle. Let's move that out of the way. On the front of our card, we're going to lay our skinny bottle down, and we're going to come below the Stitched with Whimsy. Got that on there. Let's grab the stamp that does the leaves. And I want to do a set in soft succulent and a set in evening evergreen. And I'm going to do my soft succulent first. And I'm going to, because it's a lighter color, and I'm going to kind of stamp them this way around the top of the bottleneck. Perfect. Then I don't have to clean my stamp to go into my evening evergreen. And because that's a little darker, I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm just going to move my stamp a little so that I fill in some of those spaces. Perfect. Just what we wanted. Let's cover up some ink because I wear the green. I wear and know the green around my house. Now let's put some bottles on here. And I want to talk, while I'm doing that, I want to talk to you about the flower. The flower I did 2-step stamping on. I used the flower stamp and stamped my 3 flowers. And then I used this stamp, which does my pine cones and the centers of my flowers all at once. And I just worked with it until I lined it up exactly where I wanted it and stamped it. And then I fussy cut or cut around all my flowers. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Oh, you love this one? Thanks, Becky. The girls are so quiet tonight. I think everybody just rested up for the big man in red. I know that my grandchildren will be up early on Christmas morning to look at things with their parents. Now, these bottles are a little similar, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me in the least, because when you lay them together with these two on dimensionals, it changes the color a little. And I just want to show you what happens when we grab a blending brush. Oh, trying to reach one without having to get up. And we're just going to add a little bit of dimension to the side of this bottle without really going anywhere. Let's grab a little bit more ink because we got some edges on here. Just grabbing a little ink, and we're just going to come in and kind of add a little color in the center of the bottle as well. Do you see how we're just changing the color just a tad? We're just darkening it up, or as my husband would say, dark it up. Just adding a little more color to give it a little more definition. Perfect. That's all we're going to do to that. Clean my blending brush by rubbing it on the paper till it's clear, and it's ready to go for next time. We have a little more stamping to do, but we're going to put our flowers on. I know it looks like we got a hot mess going on up here. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. We are going to take the paper off. I'm trying to hurry, girls. And we are going to lay this right on our bottle. And look how that gives us more dimension in there. Now we need one more little scrap of paper. I know we had one. What did we do with our scrap, girls? What did we do with it? Ah! Here it is. I knew we had one. I have one more stamp I want to use. And I'm going to do it in the Evening Evergreen. And I'm just going to use the Evening Evergreen on the top 3/4 of the stamp. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my cherry cobbler and touch it on the bottom of my stamp. Stamp it on our little scrap of paper. We don't need a very big piece. And a Stampin' blend. This is the light cherry cobbler. Let's just color in our little berries. Just like that. Again, we're just adding that extra little bit of ooh la la to our card. One more time around with our snips. We're just gonna cut around the edge. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fast. Just kind of make it what you want. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to come a little closer. I am not gonna rush, not gonna stress. Just want this sprig of fir. Maybe it's balsam. I can't tell the difference. just like that, and I'm going to give it a little adhesive, and I'm going to put it right on. Catch that? Right on our card, just like that. How are we coming here? How are you feeling about this? Do you like it? And of course, we're going to use another glue dot, and I did a double bow with our gold twine. So of course we need a glue dot, and if you were the glue dots, you would be right here. We're going to grab a little glue dot. We're going to put our glue dot right underneath the edge of our flower. What do you think of that? And we're going to slide our bow right underneath the edge of our flower. So our flowers are kind of hanging down over our bow. And look at that. We have the front of our card almost done. Another product, another retiring product is these red and green adhesive gems. Now, when you're working with these are on the clearance rack right now. When you get them, you would say, oh, those reds, we don't have them. They were hiding. They were hiding up under there. And we're going to pop a couple on here. And then let's put a couple, let's do a little bit of decorating on the inside of our card. Let's put one here. This one has 3. It just has dropped, so we'll have to go back and add another one. Let's put one there. I don't know what happened to my third one. I always do things 3, 5, 7. Clearly it fell off, so there we go. We got 3 now. I want to put a couple of bottles on the inside of my card. I have some ink open. I have some bottles here. So I'm thinking a little evening evergreen stamped off and then stamped in our card. Just like that, giving it that soft look of an aged bottle. When I saw these, I really thought about doing one in brown, but I didn't have the heart to do that. So let's do one more, and we're going to stamp it kind of on the edge of our green one. We're going to put our cherry cobbler one on the inside. Again, has that antique bottle look. Girls, it is 7:47. We have our 4 cards for tonight. This one was more vibrant. This one is a little softer. That is, and of course we can add our thank you to it. This one is our thank you card, again, using some products that are retiring. Using products that are retiring, our gray granite and blushing bride thank you card with our beautiful iridescent snowflakes. Then our simply saying, I can't reach it, it's falling away from me, let it snow with our starry sky, the iridescent snowflake, the iridescent vellum. Oh, and our last but not least, we went from being our first one, we went from vibrant to soft. This time I went from soft to vibrant. Thank you card. Those are our cards for tonight, ladies. What do you think? Next time you ask me for thank you cards, that's what we did. Thank you for being here with me. I hope that you have a fabulous holiday. I'm going to give you 10 minutes of your evening back. Be ready for Thanksgiving. Embrace the joy of the season. It means a lot to so many people. And oh, thank you for saying you love them, Vicki. Oh, thanks, Kathy. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your family. Make sure you sing happy birthday on Christmas Day because it is somebody's birthday. And I love you. I will see you here again next year. And we'll be back here on January 4th for Stampin' Wednesday. There's no mystery stamping this Sunday. because it's Christmas. But we'll be back here to do mystery stamping on January 2nd and Stampin' Wednesday. Oh, girls, you are a blessing to me, and I love you with all of my heart. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. Mwah! Bye.